Welcome back everyone. Now we are going to study about the binding energy. So what is the binding energy? What is this fancy term? So binding energy, as you can guess, that electron cannot bind together. So the binding energy is just for the nucleus, and actually that's the name of our playlist, atom and nuclei, and we are studying the nuclei here, so surely with the nucleus. Okay, so, what is the binding energy? Binding energy means the energy required, the minimum energy required to break two protons, proton neutron, or neutron neutrons bond. Yes, you heard me right. It's about the bond. So their attractive forces, well, that's still a controversy that how two protons attract. They both repel according to the theory that we are going to discuss in the last video. But for now, let's consider they stay together. So they are bond or binded together. So how we can figure out that what energy is required? We are going to break them. When we try to break them, or let's say we try to heat them, because of the heating energy or heat energy or some kind of the energy that we are putting in, it separates. So the minimum threshold energy that we find here gives us the binding energy, and the formula is very much obvious and very much simple. It's E is equal to mc square, or Be means binding energy is equal to that we have studied, Zmp plus A minus Z Mn minus mass of nucleus. Okay, let me write it with clarity. So this is nucleus and multiply C square energy. Now I think you are pondering, because it is something to be pondered about, that whatever we have written, c square is c square, and this whole term states for the mass, so it is simply mc square, but we have took the mass defect here. So the formula for the binding energy is mass defect one, because you have to give the separate energy. Remember, we are not breaking the mass of proton or neutron, we are just separating them. So what we need to address here is, if there is something this kind of the mass or this kind of the mass that we can see here and here, like I have explained here in this one, these masses, if you separate these masses, let me change the color to better elaborate. I tried to do that. So these masses or these areas that I'm coloring with yellow, as you might can see, I think you can see now. So these separation is actually the mass defect area. So when you deal with the mass defect area and figure out, this will going to be the energy. So we are done with the binding energy, and now we are going to see one last thing. After that we will learn about the alpha, beta and gamma. That's one of the most famous decay, or let's say radiation. So stick with me. Take care. God bless.